Hello there, this is Tertio and welcome back to the Beginner's Guide tutorial. This is the fourth part for Civilization 6 and probably the last one because I've already covered most basic mechanics of the game. I'm going to touch over some things that I left in the other videos, and also at the end there's a special plethora of tips that will help you play the game even better. Now, one of the things that I left out in the other videos is wonders. Wonders are special buildings that take a whole tile in a city, just like districts, but the difference is that wonders is it's just one building, and it gives a big bonus depending on what kind of wonder it is. In this case, Stonehenge, for example, is a religious wonder. It grants a free great profit, and it gives you +2 faith also per turn. It has to be placed next to a stone resource. So some wonders, they do have requisites on their placement. In this case, I can only place it in those two green tiles that you can see there, and there's the wonder. Now, as for religions, you need a pantheon first, which we already did in first or second episode of this beginner's guide. Afterwards, after you get a pantheon up, you need great profit points to get a great prophet. A great prophet is the great person that can found a religion. You can get great profit points by establishing a holy site district in your city. And there you go. There we finish the Stonehenge, which is actually going to give us the great profit for us. So Stonehenge is also a nice way of founding a religion because it gives you the free great profit immediately. Otherwise, you will have to use holy site districts, as I just explained. So once you have your great profit, all you have to do is select him and take him either to the Stonehenge or to the holy site district in your city. As you can see, it's already marked with a white tile. And all I have to do is move him there, and you get to found the religion. And there we go, this screen will pop up. The found the religion screen. There you go. You can actually get to choose a symbol. And you can even change the religion's name. You can put anything you want. Here we're going to put Tertianism, because why not? And you get to choose the icon here. After the aesthetic changes, you actually get to choose the religion's bonus, which we can see here once I confirm. So you get to choose two. You keep the Pantheon's bonus that you established before, and you get to choose two new ones for the religion. As always, try to work these bonuses into the kind of victory you're working for. So here, because I'm going for a cultural victory, I'm going to go and get the cultural bonuses that the religion has given me. As you can see, there's a very big selection of bonuses, and all of them are adequate for lots of types of victories. So choose carefully, because later on you won't be able to change them. So here I'm going to go for Wall Church, which gives +1 culture for every follower of this religion in other civilizations. Now, that is a tricky thing, because your religion has to be spread to other cities and to other civs. Once you unlock religion, you actually get the chance of making apostles and missionaries and all that, which are made in your holy site district. Those are your agents that you use them to spread your religion to other civs. Here you can see them right here. You also get the Inquisitor unit, which does the opposite, which is remove heresy, other religions from your cities. So now I'm going to explain a bit about specialists, because I left them aside in the other videos. Once you have special districts, like you see here in Washington, I have a campus, I have a theater district, and I have a holy site district. You can place a citizen on top of them, and that is called a specialist. And what they do is give you +2 of the specialty yield of that district. So for example, if I put a specialist in the holy site district, give me +2 faith, in the theatre district +2 culture, and in the campus +2 science. You can put up to 2, so now the theatre district is giving 4 culture. Very neat if you want to push a certain yield. Now I'm going to explain how to win in Civilization. So you can either go for a domination victory, which is you have to be the last player with their own capital. You have to capture all enemy capitals, and it's basically last man standing. These informations, you can check them up on the Civilopedia in the game for more details. Domination victory, basically build a huge army, capture capitals. Then we have the cultural victory, which uses a yield that comes into play very late in the game, which is called tourism. There's two types of tourism, visiting tourists and domestic tourists. Domestic tourists are the ones that visit your own civ, and visiting tourists are tourists that come from other civilizations to visit yours. You have to have more visiting tourists than domestic tourists of the other enemy players. Once you do that, you win the cultural victory, and you smash their faces. Okay, next up is the science victory, and you need to do some steps to actually achieve this. First, you need some spaceports in your cities to actually start making the projects that you need to win. So first you have to launch a satellite into space. There's a project to do that, as you can see by the Civilopedia entry. Then you have to land a human on the moon by sending out a moon landing project. And then finally you establish a colony on Mars, which is almost at the end of the tech tree. Once you've done that, you won the science victory and basically colonized space. Okay, and the next victory is actually new to Civ 6. This is the religious victory, in which you have to have your religion, the predominant religion, in all other civs. So basically, one religion united the world, and that should be yours. Once you've converted all other civs, you win. It's that easy. And finally, there's the score victory, which, in case you don't achieve any of the previous conditions, then once you reach the year 2050, the game immediately ends and the player with more score wins. You achieve score by doing good progress in the game, basically founding cities, getting technologies, civics, military accomplishments, getting great people, and so on and so forth. And now to finish the video, I'm going to go over some last tips and some other mechanics, minor mechanics in the game. Now, the first thing I want to cover though, if you remember from the first video when I tried to increase the growth of my city by changing the tiles that my citizen was working on, and it didn't update, well, that is actually a bug in the game. So, as you can see here, I'm going to change that tile to this tile here. The growth hasn't changed, but there is a way to actually update it and see what's going on. All you have to do is select your city, change what it's producing to something else, and voila, it has updated. Then you can just change it back to whatever it was producing before. Next up is unit promotions. So whenever a unit goes up a level by the experience bar that you can see down below in its unit card, you actually get to choose a promotion, which are like little updates to the unit. They give bonuses to its strength, to its speed, to its vision, whatever it says. And they're all different depending on what kind of unit it is. So here's the archer tree, and here you have the chariot tree. Pretty cool stuff. And they also recover health once they promote. So now we're going to go with natural wonders. Natural wonders are natural, well, basically, yes, natural things in the world which are based on real life wonders, natural wonders, like Mount Kilimanjaro or the Great Barrier Reef. And once you discover them, you can see that they actually give improvements. This one, for example, gives +2 food to adjacent tiles, and as you can see, all the adjacent tiles have 4 food on them. Here you have another one, the Piatahi, or however you pronounce it, which also gives other kinds of bonuses. If I hover my mouse over it in a second, you can see that it gives culture and gold to adjacent tiles. So founding a city next to a natural wonder is pretty good. Okay. So next up is a special tip for combat. First, you should always use your range units before your melee units, just because that way you weaken the enemy unit and they will do less damage to your melee units once they fight. Something to keep into account. Something else that happens very often is that new resources are discovered with technologies, as you can see by the iron here. Also, you have to try and look out for enemy units, enemy civilian units that you can capture. So for example, I was in war with Sumeria here and I captured their settler. Now, to repair districts, you need to go into your city screen and press the repair district button. While tile improvements are different, they have to be repaired with builders using the repair button down here. And next up is don't forget to use your envoys. Sometimes you'll forget that you actually have envoys. Luckily the game actually reminds you when to use them when you get some new ones, and you should always invest them in city-states that benefit your victory type. Also, extra amenities means extra bonuses. As you can see, I got lots of amenities here, and it's giving me bonuses here. Some techs make things obsolete, so be careful and check what you're researching. In this case, I'm going to have to replace God King policy. Age advancement happens when you research a tech or a civic that is beyond a certain line here in the tech tree. So for example, as you can see, all the techs are divided. I just researched military tactics, which is over the medieval era, so I just advanced the medieval age. You can upgrade all units if you have the enough gold or resources to do so. You just press the little button, and as you can see, my warriors are now full-fledged swordsmen. You can name veteran units once they reach promotion level 2. This archer unit is promotion level 2. This new quill button appears here. You can actually randomize the name that they get, or you can actually choose one for yourself. This is really cool for role-playing or for actually getting attached to your units. I'm just going to put a generic name here. Alpha Sniper's Elite, of course. Now, I'm going to give a small demonstration how to use a great person here, because I never did. So here we have enough to recruit a great writer. You can recruit it or pass. Passing will actually give a discount to the other civs to pick it up, but you conserve a big part of the great person points that you had. So if you're not interested in a great person, you can actually pass, and it would be good for you. In this case, I'm going to recruit. He will appear in your capital. And in this case, a great writer needs a tile where there's a slot for a great work of writing, literature. So I just press the create great work button on top of the Washington capital, because that's where I have my palace, and the palace already has a slot for that great work. And there's the great work. You also get a new little button on the top left part of the screen where you can actually check your great works, which is this screen here. You can see all the slots that your civilization has for them, as well all the great works and what the benefits they're giving to you. Okay, so how to set up a trade route. First you need a trader, and you can check how many trade routes you can do up here. As you see, I can only make one. So with this trader, you actually select him, and you get to choose where you want him to go. You can also see all the benefits that this trade route will give you. In this case, New York will receive food and 1 production, but I think I'm going to go with, let's see, the Hattusa route. That's right, because it gives me culture, science, and gold, which is something that I prefer right now. Also, making a trade route makes a road between the two cities. Roads actually ignore penalties to terrain, so they're really good for moving armies. In this case, I already had the road built because the trade route to Hattusa was already established before I did this. Okay, so attacking a city, probably something that many of you would like to see. As you can see, cities have a health bar represented by the green bar on top of it, and they also have a defense bar, which is the blue one. Think of it like some shields that it has. The blue bar is actually the walls, the castles that it has, and all that. you're going to need siege units to actually bring it down. As you see, I have a battering ram next to my units, which is helping with that, with those city walls. Once the city walls are down, your units are free to attack the health bar of the city. Once the health bar goes to 0, you capture the city, and it's yours to keep or yours to raise, as you'll see in a few seconds here. So I keep sieging the city, and now with my knights I'm going to finish off the job. You also capture the builder that's inside the building, I mean the city, as you can see. And now you get the option to keep the city or raise it. Keeping it, you keep it. Raising it, you destroy it forever. Now, take into account, I cannot raise this city here because it's the capital of Sumeria. You cannot raise capitals, as that is a condition for the domination victory. Now I'm going to talk about the Harbour District, which is a very special district that you can build. You need Celestial Navigation to build it, and it's a district that lets you build sea units, even if your city is not next to the sea. So it's really useful for when you want to reach out for some resources. In the case of Uruk here, it's next to the river, and you don't want to settle next to the coast just to have sea units. You build the harbour district on the coast area, and once it's done, as you can see, now Uruk is capable of producing sea units. In the case of settling next to the coast, you wouldn't need the harbour district, as you would already have a harbour in the city. And that's all for today. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I hope you learned lots of little things and details. This is the last beginner's guide, as I said, but the tutorials will not probably stop here. I'll probably go into more deeper mechanics and more deeper things later on. And also, I'm pretty busy right now with the playthroughs of Civ 6, so I would like to advance those first. Hope you enjoyed the series. Remember to like and subscribe. See you later.